Hello, Andrew Collishaw, homeopath and naturopath, and a warm welcome to your video Body Talk newsletter for this week. I just wanted to send you a video because some of you may have seen a Four Corners episode just screened recently on the ABC talking about antibiotic resistant bacteria, and it raised some very, very concerning issues regarding the number of bacteria that are now resistant to many antibiotics. The number is actually increasing and it's at an all-time high. There are also bacteria which are completely resistant to all known antibiotics, and this poses a huge concern for public health. So I just wanted to send you this as a quick response, because it does cause a lot of anxiety and a lot of concern, because if we think that we now have infections which can't be treated with antibiotics, the prospects don't look good at all. And this is where naturopathic homeopathic philosophy comes into the fore. This is where we need to look very carefully at how we view microbiology, and in this case how we view the dealing with bacteria and its role in health and disease. Now let me make it very, very clear. Antibiotic resistant bacteria poses an extremely important issue that we must address, and we must find a way to deal with. It could be quite catastrophic, the end results of this. Having said that, we also need to look at things from a different perspective when we're dealing with antibiotics and when we're dealing with bacterial infections. Now, from a naturopathic homeopathic perspective, let's just quickly revise where bacteria fit into that. You see, if we look at disease, we see bacteria essentially as part of the whole disease process, but not necessarily the cause of disease. And the simple example that we give is that if 10 people are exposed to the same bacteria, there won't be 10 people who are going to develop some sort of disease after that exposure. Maybe half of them will, maybe 3 of them will. It depends on the virulence of the bacteria, but it also depends on other factors, the person's immune system and all the factors that contribute to that. That's probably the main factor that's going to have a bearing on whether or not you become affected by and infected by a particular bacteria and show symptoms or some illness or disease after that exposure. So the disease is not caused by bacteria from a naturopathic and homeopathic perspective. It's part of the disease picture, but it's not necessarily the cause. There are other factors that contribute to whether or not you're going to have a disease or an infection. So when we're looking at protecting ourselves from these sorts of bacteria that are becoming more and more resistant to antibiotics, what we've got to be doing is we've got to be promoting health. We've got to be promoting prevention. Now it's very hard to, when you're feeling okay, when you aren't suffering from a particular disease, it's very hard to say, hey, keep promoting health, be proactive, do all the right things so that your health can be really at maximum levels. Now that works and we're motivated for a certain period of time, but it's very difficult to keep up that motivation. It's much easier to be motivated when we're sick and when we're in pain. But when we're dealing with the problem of bacteria and the resistance to antibiotics, this is what we've got to do. We have to be maximizing our health when we're well. We need to be promoting the immune system. And if we do get some mild ailment here or there, or we get the beginnings of some disease happening, we need to treat it very carefully so that our body is being nourished and nurtured and our immune system isn't being compromised in any way. And this is one of the major ways that we deal with some of these bacteria that are becoming more resilient. So it's very important to be always conscious about how can I keep my health at a very high level, even if your health is okay at the moment. This is one way we can protect ourselves. Now, it's also important to remember that if we do get sick, if we do have some bacterial infection, in homeopathic medicine, herbal medicine, we have many medicines that are very able to deal with all sorts of bacterial infections. In my clinic, I see many clients who have all sorts of acute or ongoing infections because of bacteria, and we treat these often very effectively with homeopathic or herbal medicine. Also, nutritional medicine can come into it as well. So I'm sure you all know this, but we don't have to necessarily rely on antibiotics to treat bacterial infections. There are other ways of dealing with it. And that's what I would really encourage you to be thinking about and just to remind yourselves of as well. All right, so yes, the Four Corners show, very interesting. I remember 20 plus years ago learning that these antibiotic resistant bacteria were increasing. It was a major concern for microbiologists that many years ago and more. And every so often it comes into the public domain and the media, and we hear articles such as the Four Corners show. But this has been a problem that's been going on for many years. So the point is not to panic. There are different ways of approaching health and disease, and this concern about bacteria that are becoming more resistant to antibiotics. We mustn't be complacent, and we must always be emphasizing prevention, very much so. And then when we're treating bacterial infections, to be considering natural medicine such as homeopathic medicine, which can be very powerful and effective in certain situations, herbal medicine, nutritional medicine. All right, lots to think about. I'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.